5-4 Guardians.
Oh.
The White Sox could go all the way to, I mean, I don't want to say it out loud because I don't want to jinx it. They could score 5 runs, all right? I mean, 4 already exceeds my wildest dreams. They got shut out yesterday, and they got beat on Monday by the Guardians there in Chicago. 5-3 Monday, 5-0 last night. The afternooner happening as we speak. Bottom of the 6th. Guardians 5, White Sox 4. I mean, even when they lose, they will have scored 4 runs. I mean, they recently beat the Red Sox. That's not always easy. And they beat somebody else. It's the little victories, and they are little. They beat the Red Sox on Sunday night. That was 7-2. They beat the Orioles at Camden Yards. That's also not easy to do. But other than that, it has been just a parade of catastrophe. So, bottom of the 6th, as we speak, 5-4. The Guardians there in Chicago. Guardians will come home to start up that series against the Tampa Bay Rays. That starts tomorrow night. There's 4 games with them, and then they move right to the 4 games against the Twins here at Progressive Field. Last handful of games, they will go to St. Louis to play the Cardinals. They'll come home, play the Reds, and they'll finish up the season, regular season, against the Houston Astros. So their last road series is in St. Louis against the Cardinals. And you can use the promo code GUARDIAN all month long if you're doing some shopping at CLE Clothing Company. Don't sleep on that. 20% off whatever you want, whatever you get there. Use the promo code GUARDIAN. You okay?
Yeah.
Guess who tried to pass himself off on the app? You leave messages here on the iHeartRadio app. Guess who tried to pull the wool over my eyes?
Uh-oh.
Alan? Alan Cox? Oh, hey, it's just me, Johnny Football. I haven't talked to you in a while. I see you're still in Cleveland. Good for you. I miss it there. They love me there. I love playing football. You really started my fan club there in Cleveland when I first came on your show. I may call tomorrow.
You know, Johnny Manziel.
That wasn't the real Johnny
Of course not.
That wasn't
I tried to reach the real Johnny Manziel, and he was feeling a little under the weather, so he's not able to join us. But I was like, you are not going to believe. You want to talk about stolen valor on 9/11, no less. Mm-hmm. Have you no decency, sir, to pretend to be Johnny Football, who's back in the news, by the way. I guess I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I didn't realize that his ex was one of Nick Cannon's baby mamas.
Oh. Did he get divorced?
Johnny Manziel?
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of years ago. He stepped out on her or something like that.
I knew that, but I didn't know if she left him or not.
Yeah, they got married in 2018. They divorced. I guess they split up pretty quickly, but they divorced in 2021. And I guess I knew, granted, it's hard to keep track of the ladies that let Nick Cannon leave it in, but that name, Brie Taisi, I was like, I just did not put 2 and 2 together. And there's this show called Selling Sunset. There's a reality show called Selling Sunset. And market for real estate in Los Angeles, and he reached out to his ex. And I guess that's part of this new, I guess he's dating Jose Canseco's daughter now. But he and Brie Taisi were married, and she is, she had Nick Cannon's 8th kid.
Dang.
Yeah. So.
Set for life.
I guess so. Josie Canseco is Jose's daughter. And, everybody's doing what they're supposed to be doing, I guess. But this caught people's attention because they didn't have a great split. But, Johnny Manziel, I mean, you want to talk about the white-hot spotlight this guy was in. I mean, for a guy like that to ever even come close reeling in somebody like Bree Taisi. I mean, you can't even get your head around it. This corn pone. I don't care if he was a professional football player. I mean. So, but I guess the hook in this episode of this reality show is that Johnny Manziel was kind of like, yeah, I didn't treat her well. Or they had a little heart-to-heart.
Well, that's nice.
But
Isn't that nice?
Isn't that nice?
Aww.
Kissed and made up. Not kissed, but she definitely kissed Nick Cannon.
You don't know that.
I have to think. Yeah, okay. All right. I mean, is there a chance that David Grohl just paid for in vitro fertilization with his girl? Is there any chance that that's what happened? You know, there's all this conversation about IVF. If you watch the debate last night, Trump will tell you he's a leader in fertilization. And I don't know that anybody has considered, in all the knives out and finger pointing in that Dave Grohl situation, I don't know if anybody has considered that maybe it was some in vitro situation. Maybe he was just helping her out. Back home in Chicago, let me give you this. Not in Chicago, but nearby. There is when I was growing up, you'd see nonstop commercials. One of the biggest automobile dealers in the Midwest, a guy named Bob Rohrman. Rohrman Automotive was a massive network of car dealerships. And they had them in Illinois, and they had them in Indiana. I don't know if they had any here, but he was pretty... Yeah, he had a pretty good spread. And when I was a kid, you were constantly seeing Bob Rohrman advertisements. They would have a cartoon lion, and they go, Bob Rohrman, you know, everybody. Well, Bob Rohrman died some years ago, so he's not in charge of everything anymore. He died, I think, right before COVID kicked in. His wife was like 30 years younger than him. She was 28. He was 58 when they got married. So it was like big local news. Well, they're in a bit of a PR pickle now because Rohrman Automotive did one of these things where it was called Kicks for Cash. This was at a Purdue football game. So this is Indiana. And so they have dealerships out there, and this is a big, a lot of auto dealerships do this. They do these kinds of promotions. We're like, hey, hit the field goal from, the 50-yard line or whatever, and you'll get X, Y, and Z. Or the half-court shot, and you get this. So Rohrman Automotive was doing a Kicks for Cash competition at a Purdue football game. And this kid made a 40-yard field goal.
Dang.
So he was going to win a 2-year lease on a brand-new car from Rohrman Automotive. But then he got an email. See, these are all done through insurance companies. They go, well, it's $1 million prize. It's an insurance policy that pays out when you do this. But we all know insurance companies want to take your money. They don't ever want to return any of it back. They will look for every possible opportunity to deny a claim. And that's exactly what they did here. They sent him an email saying that he was not going to get the 2-year lease because he didn't kick the ball within the allotted time frame.
Oh, come on.
He needed to have the ball in the air by a certain amount of time. Now, anybody who knows anything about these kinds of things, if you're watching a football game, as long as you make that kick before the counter is at 0, it counts. Well, he got an email from the insurance company and from the car dealership that said that he was off by 5/100ths of a second.
Oh, my God.
And they attached video evidence from a variety of angles saying, hey, upon further review, you actually didn't beat the clock.
Wow.
So you don't get...
That's that.
Well, the kid's like, look, I have a car that runs fine. I thought this was cool.
Yeah.
And I don't need a car. And the dealership, I guess, doubled down. So they sent him a whole bunch of videos showing him that he was short by however much they said he was short. But he's like, this is really low quality video. And the camera angles weren't synced up with each other. So it's just kind of standard issue insurance company going, whoops, well. But In every level of football, as I understand it, that ball snapped before the clock is at 0, that kick counts. And he made the 40-yard kick. And he's like, they never said anything to me about when my foot had to be off the ball.
Right.
They said, go out and kick. That's what everybody does. Half-court shot, 40-yard kick, whatever it is. So this thing blows up, and you'd think that a car dealership, this is bad PR, you'd think that they would be like, you know what, take it. We had a fun time, whatever. Now, they doubled down, and they were like, you're not getting this. They put out a statement saying, well, it didn't go the way that it was supposed to go. So he did it incrementally, right? He would win gift cards doing the kicks from 20 yards out, 30 yards out. He finally does them 40 yards out. That was for the car. And the whole thing took a turn when he got that email saying that because Bob Rohrman, this guy who passed away, who began this series of dealerships, he went to Purdue. This was his alma mater. And his family has given like tens of millions of dollars to Purdue athletics. But the dealership, doubling down and kind of trying to use it as an advertisement. They were like, oh, it was great, and he came so close.
Yeah, I feel like this makes people go like, yeah, but you're out
you.
of this. Screw you guys.
It's pretty wild.
Yeah. I don't think this makes the dealership look good at
You're going to nickel and dime me on everything.
Yeah.
Yep. So who knows what will happen there, but it jumped out at me because I remember growing up and seeing Bob Rohrman advertisements on local television, that dumb cartoon lion. Jose Canseco was just on the newest season of The Surreal Life. Oh, Josie Canseco, sorry. It's like he's a little long in the tooth to be on that show. My wife is watching the new season. It's like Chet Hanks, Macy Gray. I know I played that clip from Macy Gray where she said like her day is made when she has cocaine.
Good for her.
She's like, that's what I get to level myself out is cocaine. Macy Gray gonna Macy Gray. But I didn't know what show that was, and Gwen's watching it. Alan, a stupid kid in our middle school, wrote a bomb threat on the bathroom wall yesterday. Today they were charged with a Class D felony. This is Lawrenceburg, Kentucky. I'm sorry, burpee. One of our bureau chiefs out there. Hello, who's this? Hello.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hi.
Hate the show.
Thank you.
I just have a question. What was the song that you were playing when you came back from break? It was 4:23.
It was Bloody Strings by Guar.
All right. That's it.
Oh, easy enough.
No, I'm kidding. She's talking about this song.
Oh, this is the song from Portlandia, right?
It's called Feel It All Around. The band is called Washed Out. This song's probably 10, 15 years old, but I love it. Great. Puts me in a good mood.
I've heard it before. But I couldn't jam it while I was driving.
Washed Out is the band. It's called Feel It All Around. It's on an album called Life of Leisure.
All right. Awesome. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Please. I guess I couldn't convince her that this was Guar, but it would have been great had I sent her down the rabbit hole to...
A little chill for Guar.
Well, listen, if you're an artist, you want to give yourself a lot of options. You want to give yourself different ways of doing things. But they did use this as the theme song for Portlandia, didn't they? For a little while. I never really got into that show, but Portlandia is another show. I'm like, I really should like this show, but I can't vibe on it. I like Fred a lot. Fred Armisen is in a Rob Lowe show on Netflix called Unstable, which I think is very funny. Fred Armisen plays his therapist who has wormed his way into Rob Lowe's life and is living with him and causing all kinds of crazy things to happen. Before we move on, cats have been in the news. And this kind of ties in a little bit. There's a narrative thread here, if you follow me, on the Kicks for Cash debacle. Remember the guy who was on video, like drop kicking the cat?
No.
We talked about this a while ago. There's a dude who was like filmed himself kicking a cat like he was kicking a field goal.
Jeez.
One of his buddies recorded it. A guy named Donaldvin Williams.
He's doing a live stream.
Yeah. Not Donovan. Donaldvin Williams. They gave him 3 years in prison. Guy in Texas. Drop kicked a cat and then, say it with me, put it
Made
on
the
social
field
media.
goal. Oh.
No. Bob Rohrman denied his brand new car too.
Unbelievable.
I know. 30-year-old Donaldvin Williams got 3 years in federal prison. Federal animal crushing is a federal offense. In which, I'm going to read you chapter and verse here of the law, just so those of you out there who might get it in your head, maybe you know that lady in Canton, in which one or more living non-human mammals, birds, reptiles, or amphibians is purposely crushed, burned. Alan, what if I drown him? Nope. Drowned, suffocated, impaled, or otherwise subjected to serious bodily injury. Federal offense. That'll get you.
Yeah, it should.
You know, we were talking about the debate before where, everybody's pouncing on the Trump, they're eating dogs, eating cats. That all just came from the J.D. Vance nonsense. This guy's obsessed with cats. So the childless cat ladies and then the immigrants because J.D. Vance is a senator from Ohio. So that's why he became the face of this whole thing. He has essentially told their supporters, hey, even if this isn't true, keep saying it. He's like, maybe the rumors are false, but even so, just keep saying it. If they turn out to be false. Of course, everybody associated with that township has said there's zero evidence. It's not happening at all. So, he's like, just letting people know, hey, even if turns out to be false, just put it out there. Let people do their own research. I got to take a break.
Oh.
Go ahead.
I was just going to say, in the debate, I liked when they asked Trump if he would sign a national abortion ban. They're like, well, J.D. Vance said that. And he was basically like, I don't talk to J.D. Vance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know that guy.
He doesn't speak for me. Yeah, I grabbed him because I thought he was good looking.
Right.
Not because he's smart. Well, one hand doesn't know what the other hand's doing over there, so.